And one of the principles of evolution is how you adapt yourself to the adversity. If you cannot adapt, you will vanish. You may not die, but your mind will give up.
The first question for Daaji. The pandemic has led to many changes in the way we live, and the overriding emotion seems to be fear. Fear of going out, fear of meeting people, fear of living the way we used to live. In fact, it can almost be said that fear is now the pandemic. So how can one cope with this fear?
Having a fear of COVID virus is legitimate because it can take your life. It can disable you in many ways. If this fear was not there, imagine, it would spread even faster. To me, fear and courage, they're twin elements, right? Like restlessness and calmness. Right? There is extreme stress and there is extreme state of comfort. Okay. Now you ask a student, if he's too comfortable, will he study? So some level of stress is required. Some level of fear, I think, is also required. Imagine some politicians, thieves, murderers, rapists, they become fearless. What will become of the society? So, fear, if you look at it from one eye perspective, it is good. So, to lead a fear-free life, one has to establish certain protocols and establish limits around them. To what extent can I move on with freedom? Do I have freedom to behave the way I would like to? Do I have the freedom to deny that I will not vaccinate myself? Do I have the freedom to say, oh, I will not wear my masks, I am invincible? Okay, if you want to have it your way. See, there are many people who are against it, especially in the United States. Many priests and many politicians, including President Trump. His tone came down a bit after he got the COVID. Similarly, few priests died who were summoning to their, group, to their devotees that there is nothing like COVID. God is great. God will protect you, etc. Let's all assemble. That is wrong. See, until they themselves get it and they succumb to death after that. Even then, some people don't realize it because of ego. I have made up my mind that such things are not dangerous. What happens to this Florida governor? Same thing. He's telling that students should not wear masks in the school, and those who would wear and enforce such rules, the salaries will not be given to them. See, finances will be cut from those schools. So when it becomes political, that is more fearsome. Not the COVID.
The next question. The last 2 years have been extremely trying for everyone. There has been stress and uncertainty at every turn. In such a situation, how can one motivate oneself to carry on?
Well, it's good. I love this scenario because you remember those days before pandemic. People were hoping, oh, when will I ever have a good time at home? I don't want to go to work. God, please at least give me 1 week of break so I can stay home and relax. It has exposed our vulnerability. The weak relationship in the family, they are exposed. When you love someone so much, why this proximity is so inconvenient? People, especially we as human beings like to see change. But there are many sorts of changes in the environment we can perceive, and especially people who meditate. Even though you may be sitting in the same place for all your life, your inner environment will continuously keep changing. The inner landscape will keep changing, and you'll never get bored. It's up to us how to make use of adverse circumstances to your advantage. That is wisdom. Right? And one of the principles of evolution is how you adapt yourself to the adversity. If you cannot adapt, you will vanish. You may not die, but your mind will give up.
How does one embark on the spiritual journey? How can one find the path?
Meditation should have, rather, must have, a sublime goal. Right? Meditation, traditional dictionary would say, is repeatedly thinking on one object, constantly thinking of. Businessman constantly, his mind is on making money, so in a way he's meditating. Maybe Arpit is after his girlfriend and always thinking of her all the time. That is also a kind of meditation. But in spirituality, meditation means focusing yourself not only on the presence of godliness, it's just a thought, but it must take you to the feeling of that divinity in your heart. So, meditation is a step where you move from thinking to feeling, to experiencing the presence. If it doesn't help you experience, then something is wrong with the process. Under this system, which I learned from my Guruji, it's very simple. It doesn't have many dogmas. It's a simple process where you close your eyes and be receptive. You can be as much a non-believer as much as you like. I say, oh, I don't believe in God. Okay, don't believe in God. But you will be convinced once you experience it, no? So that is our approach, that we close our eyes and be receptive at least for that half hour. For that half hour, I am only telling to God, please, my dear God, I don't know you. That's an honest statement. I like to believe that you are there. Let's come to a neutral point that, okay, he's not there or he's there. I'm in the middle. Now, God, you please tell me if you are there, if I can experience your presence. That's all. This should be our approach when we meditate.